Alright, in this video, I quickly want to share with you a good way to learn vanilla JavaScript. So I have a particular way that I utilize to learn vanilla JavaScript, and it has helped me a lot over the years. And I just want to share that method with you guys as well. So without wasting any time, let's just dive into it. So the first thing you need to do is go to any UI library that you like. So for example, I go to Material UI. So after going here, what I'll do is I'll go to Docs and then I'll click on Material UI over here. Now once I've opened this, I'll expand the components section over here. Now what I see after expanding components is I see a bunch of different components over here, right? So what I usually do is I try to see all these individual components. So for example, I go to the rating component over here and I try to understand how the flow works. So for example, if I go down here, I see the star rating component where if I click on a particular star, then all the stars before it get filled. And if I hover on a particular star, then all the stars before it and the star I'm hovering on are filled. And so I try to observe all the different features of a particular component, and then I make sure that I try to implement it. So basically, I try to go through different components present in the components section of any popular UI library, and then I try to see the different components that they have, and I make sure to try and implement them on my own. So apart from this rating component, there are so many other components that you can see over here. You get a lot of examples that you can navigate through over here, and this saves a lot of your time because you don't have to go around looking for good front-end projects to implement. You can simply come over here, you can see any common component that is utilized in different websites or you work with in your company, and then you can start trying to implement those common components on your own. For example, you can go to progress over here, and if you go scroll down, you can see this different progress bars over here. And then there's also this progress bar with a label. So as the bar increases, this percentage also increases along with the bar until when it finally reaches the end, it goes to 100%. So you can try to implement this on your own. And then similarly, if you go to accordion as well, in this accordion component, if I click on an accordion, it expands. If I click on it again, it closes up. And then if I go down here over controlled accordion, what happens here is if I click on a particular accordion, it expands. But if I click on any other accordion, then the previously expanded accordion closes up. So what I try to do is I try to note down all the different features of a particular component. So features of this would be to first create a container with a bunch of divs that hold an accordion. Then the next feature of this particular component would be to just show the heading of those individual accordions. Then the third feature would be that if I click on a particular accordion, it should expand. Then the fourth feature or requirement basically would be if any of the accordions are expanded and I try to click on a different header, then the previously expanded accordion should close up. So I try to note down all these features and I make sure that I try to implement them on my own during my free time. So by doing this for all the important or popular components over here, I get a lot of knowledge about how vanilla JavaScript works behind the scenes. So you don't have to look into Material UI, you can just look into any UI library that you like specifically, go into its components section and try to implement different components. By doing this, you get to learn a lot of DOM manipulation techniques, you get to learn how to access different nodes, you get to learn how to traverse through different nodes, you also get to learn a lot about the different event listeners present in different tags and how you can manipulate them based on your use cases. So there are a lot of other important components such as, let's say, the modal component, the rating component, accordion, dropdown, multi-select dropdown, progress bars, checkboxes, and so on. So by implementing all these components on your own, you can get to know a lot about vanilla JavaScript, and trust me, this really works. I even do the same. I still do it to this day. In fact, I have a JavaScript projects playlist where I do the same. I learn how to implement all these components, the idea of which I get from these component libraries, then I try to implement them on my own, and then I make a video on it. So in the future, I'm also going to keep pushing more videos on different components that I built from scratch. So you can always take help from the playlist. I'll link it down in the description. But all in all, this is a very nice way that has worked for me to learn vanilla JavaScript in depth. This really helps boost your knowledge in vanilla JavaScript significantly, and I really nudge you to give this a try if you haven't already. So yeah, I guess this is just something I quickly wanted to share with you guys. If you have any other ways to improve in vanilla JavaScript, then do comment down your thoughts below. I would really be interested to go through them. So yeah, that's all for the video. If you found it insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more.